Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mini Metro. Look, we are finally up to the very last city, which is Auckland in New Zealand, which is definitely much closer to my place than all the other cities that have been lately. But who knows? It's the last city, so it probably means something very difficult is coming up, but we'll find out eventually. So with that said, with it being the very last city we have to investigate, and already things are starting to get interesting. With it being the very last city that we have to investigate, or well, at least conquer, it means that at least in the next video I'll be trying to take a look at the challenges and see whether some of them are actually doable, because I'm not gonna lie, some of them look pretty difficult and I feel like I will have to practice a few times just to make sure that I can... Well, basically the question in my head at the moment is whether I should actually show all my attempts at it, or I show the finished video with, or like I show a successful attempt, like only the successful attempt without all the failures behind it. So that's sort of something that I'm still thinking about for the time being. So like I said, not too sure where to go just yet. So it's well, we just detach them, bring that back to the triangle and back to the square. Yeah, so I'm not quite sure where to go with that just yet, but I think it's probably easier for me just to record my attempts and then just to sort of reflect on what I've learned at the end, and then yeah, we'll see how things go and whether I feel like continuing to play this game, or whether I will want to move on to other games. So it's because look, I'm not gonna lie, there's a ton of games out there that I would love to play, and there's only so much time that I have to actually play them. So it's live and let live, see what happens, and we'll see how I'm feeling at the end of all this. But nevertheless, I've been enjoying Mini Metro thus far. It's very relaxing music. It's very simple aesthetic, and it appeals to my strategy inner nerd, because it's sort of just, if I'm looking at this, it gives me time to look, and it gives me time to think on the go, and because you can pause it, you can also just pause it and then just let things happen, and then we just see things that happen. We can see it's like a simulation, because one of the things I studied in mathematics was sweet too, locomotive, and we'll go for a line please, thank you. And so one of the things I studied in mathematics was in basically operations research, which is I can never find a simple way to actually describe it, but operations research basically looks at mathematical models of this kind of thing, and it also looks at algorithms for solving these things, and sometimes we call this algorithm heuristics, and then sometimes we call them much more complicated names like meta heuristics. And it's to be honest, at least in my opinion, other people would think otherwise, I don't consider the algorithms all that complicated in concept, but when you're I've got something coming up, I'm gonna pause for. Okay, so yeah, sorry about that. I just had to temporarily divert my attention to something. And so we should be good to resume, just watching trains, little trains move around, and enjoy the atmosphere and the ambience of the music. If I could just turn the volume up on my end a bit, you guys won't notice it, so not to worry. So how am I feeling about this place? Well, it's looking pretty cramped, and there is definitely a lot of rivers around it, so it means there will definitely be a bit of trouble coming up. As for now, looks like we're going fairly smoothly. The red, the blue lines, the green lines are fairly stretched out far enough, so eventually I will want to introduce another line at some point. But there we go. And so it's nearing the end of and yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about, that we will start running into some problems, but so far this looks fairly manageable. So again, we've got a single square station, so it makes sense for it to be like the central station, which all the lines will be passing through. I know in the previous video I sort of experimented with with train Yay, locomotive. Do we want to carriage or tunnels? I have a feeling there will be places where I will need tunnels, so I'm going to grab the tunnels first, because so far it doesn't look like we actually need the additional carriage, so we're not going to worry about that too much for the time being. So alright, so let's see. So yeah, definitely here is going to be a bit of a problem, so we will definitely look forward to having a new line, and maybe chances are there'll be stations popping up around here on the bottom right. What did I just say? Alright, so let me just pause that for a second. I'm going to extend the red line over. Now, the red line is definitely being a bit overburdened, so I'm going to release one circle station from that lot. And I think I'll put the extra locomotive on this line as well. Alright, that should deal with some of the red line's problems for now, so hopefully there's not too much to worry about. The purple line is very well connected with all the rest, so I don't think there's much to worry about on that end either. And thankfully we have 2 extra tunnels in case that something like this happens. So the question I've got in mind now is that, do I extend this purple line to include this? Or do I bring another line to that? Now the thing is, I can actually save on 1 tunnel. So I think that's probably the most cost-effective option. That would not quite maybe resource effective. It's more in terms that if I put another line through there, then I will be using both of my tunnels. So that in itself could be really okay. So okay, what am I gonna do now? So I'm gonna detach this. I'm gonna bring this up here. Now, I don't know what's happening with these little... okay. So, okay, there was definitely an oversight on my end, so thankfully... I was just wondering what all the extra blipping was, and I realized, well, maybe something's probably not right with my system. So, I'm detaching the purple line from this station because I want more travel around this area, and plus this is a circle station in which there's plenty of them up there, so I'm not too particularly worried. Now this, how are we gonna deal with this? So exactly like that, and I think yes, that would do. We're not using any extra tunnels, but definitely the green line will certainly be a bit pressured. I think what I want to do eventually is that when we get 2 more tunnels, I want to have a line that sort of goes around this outside. That should hopefully sort of make moving around things around a bit easier, especially if we get teardrop stations. Sorry, if we get teardrop customers up here, then it takes a long time for them to get there. So having a straight line going from up there to the left would definitely be handy. But of course this is all hypothetical, and we will eventually find out what will happen. So for now, it's, as I was just about to say, the end of the week. We will definitely go for a new line. And as for now, we've only got 1 tunnel, so there's not really all that much we can do with it for the time being. So I think once another station pops up on the end here, we will definitely use our last tunnel to deal with that. You know what? I think I'm going to pop that. Okay, I want the square, triangle. You know what? Yeah, I'll actually pop that line on now because it's red. The red line's getting a bit stressed out, and you know, it's like, why not? Because otherwise the line is sort of sitting there not doing anything. We may as well put it to use. Alrighty, so good diamonds. Good. I'm just sort of verbalizing random things that sort of just is. The interesting thing about doing this is that it's an opportunity for me to sort of just practice channeling my train of thought, and it's sort of like sometimes all that's going in my head is this very abstract thing in which I can't actually put actual words to, so it just comes out as very nonsensical sounds, and so it's like I probably shouldn't add that out because I am terrible at sort of just parodying myself, but well, we'll see. So what's happening? It's Thursday. We're at 346, and I think we're going pretty well. Taking note that all the trains carry 6 passengers each, which, as opposed to the last video where it was pretty much halfway through the game when I noticed that each train was only carrying 4 passengers each, which was like, just made me think about the situation, how much more difficult it could be, and how much more interesting it was being. But, you know, reflecting on it now, is probably wasn't that much different, but I still have to think about that a bit more. So, alright, so we've still only got 1 square station, so which is, again, as a result, we're going to try and trek through all the train lines to it as much as well, or the closer train lines to it. Of course, we'll have some external ones that maybe we will not necessarily link through the square station, but of course that is really dependent on what happens. So, okay, I've got 1, so I still want to keep this triangle one in the loop, but I think this green one is starting to be a bit overburdened, so I'm thinking maybe I will detach this from the circle. I'm not quite sure if that's a good idea, because if circle stations appear here, then it will still take a bit longer to move around. So it's week 5. Do I want a line or do I want a carriage? I've got 1 tunnel. I think having a line would still definitely be handy, because now we're sort of expanding a bit out here, which is starting to be a bit of a problem. So I'm just going to pause this for a second and sort of just brainstorm a bit. So I think I'm going to have just 1. Maybe I'll just start this external line that I was basically thinking about and proposing before. So now the question is, how long do I want to have this one? Because I've got I've got a diamond here, circle, teardrop, star, triangle. I really want to extend it to the square, but the problem is, since it's not a loop, it would definitely take much longer for the train to travel from one side to the other, which can definitely be a bit of a problem. But the advantage it has right now is that this train can sort of just deliver to all these unique stations on its own. So having the 1 triangle here is good in case it picks up other triangle passengers. So I think that's definitely a safe choice to make. So and ideally we'll add another train to this, and hopefully maybe we'll link it up to the square in the middle. But for now, we'll have to wait and see what happens. And I honestly think we're doing fairly well for the time being. So you're hearing a couple of blips, but it looks like our green train will be coming here to rescue and alleviate some of that pain. And so because it's always so these 2 definitely need a bit of attention. So I guess just the words. So the question in my head is like, what should I do? Maybe I'm going to detach this blue one so the blue can get a bit more travel time. Now this is going to be a problem. So I think oh boy, this is going to be shoot, this is really not good at all. So okay, I need to sort of be a bit quiet. Okay, I'm going to detach this pink line, and I need to sort of just confer with myself, what am I going to do about this? So I think the main problem here is that I've got a bunch of tunnels that I haven't quite sort of like used to its best capacity. So okay, so I've got 1 remaining tunnel, which means that oh gosh, I'm actually a bit stumped. So I do apologize, as I sort of need to sit down and think about this one for a bit. I really want the green one to remain here so that we're not restricted to 1 line carrying passengers to these unique stations. And but the problem is the purple line has the trouble of being too long. So the question is, now we still want to sort of loop through these stations, but what is the best way to loop them, since we've got a restricted number of tunnels? So with the pink one, I think I'm gonna link 1 pink one here and then still keep this configuration. The purple one, I think the purple one will unfortunately have to be a very long line, which is really not ideal, but it's yeah, I'm not very happy about this, to be honest, because forcing the station up here means that we need to this one needs attention, so this one needs a bit more attention, so we're gonna put the green line back on that one. And yeah, definitely the purple station is overworked, so hopefully I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty stumped. So, will the purple one get back up here in time? Hopefully so. Almost there. And we would really love... So, I'm hoping we get tunnels. Because that would be... Oh my goodness. Okay. I definitely need to take a different tack on all this. So, let me detach the purple and then we'll just see. Because I think right now I need to figure out how to more efficiently use my tunnels, because right now it's definitely not working out for me right now. So okay, this cross I need to use one tunnel and only one tunnel. This area can be accessed without using any tunnels, so, or maybe using one, and this area needs... Okay, what I'm gonna do is link this one here, and then around the back, and in here, and then around the back. So shoot, I'm seriously, utterly bummed, because this is a bit of a pickle, and we definitely do not have enough tunnels. So I'm gonna just think about this for a while quietly, and maybe I'll just speed up the portion of the video. Okay, well, that's probably not the best solution, but I think it will suffice for now. Nevertheless, I'm still not very happy with it. It's, yeah. Let's just hope Sunday comes by quickly and we should hopefully have a solution to our problems coming up. Alright. This is gonna be a very long 30-second wait. I'm actually not sure of the timer between days, but hopefully Sunday finishes before... alright, Sunday. Not yet? Almost. No, I want you to do this one. Oh no. Okay, come on. Alright. Thank the lords. Thank the gods. Okay. I don't want a line. I need a carriage. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna give this one to... I actually want the green train to go back there, because... So I'm gonna quickly put a train here. I'm gonna put the carriage here. And then I'm gonna allocate green to purple, so that way the green will move to the purple line when it's done. Okay. Please. Alright. Please. Pretty please. Thank goodness. Okay. So circle, square, triangle. Is this transporting all the ones I need to? For now, yes. This one is definitely being overburdened now because we need more tunnels. We need more tunnels. I'm so frustrated. I can't think now. The other option is to have another line looping through the outside only, but man, this is frustrating. Utterly frustrating. What are you doing? Oh my god. Wow. Oh. Okay, well, we passed 500. That's great. We're close to 750. That's almost as equally great, but I will definitely struggle to hit 1,000 with this one. So with that, thank you for watching, and hopefully I will have a couple of challenge videos out, but if not, then that will probably be the end of the series. But who knows? It really depends on how I'm feeling by then. So with that, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video.